Obviously, a lot less than if I would have charged $1 a day on the App Store. But that was a very interesting model to try.
That's an
And I
interesting.
also encourage.
Oh, I was going to. Sorry, I
Yeah,
was going to ask.
basically, I gave a list of. That's all right.
Go
Go
ahead.
on, do you want to go? Yeah,
No,
basically, I gave a list of 4 things to do. I said, I'm offering this app for free. 4 things I'd like you to do in return. You can do any or all of them, whatever you feel. Rate the app, share it with a friend, take my survey, or donate some money. So that gave me a good launch platform to get out to a lot of people, get it spread around by word of mouth, get good ratings within iTunes, and also make a tiny bit of money on the side out of it.
That's an interesting point that you bring up. We talk about that a lot here on the show. Is that for developers to put a button on their site so that people can give them money, because there's a lot of times when people want to give money. Case in point, there's the app. And my mind just went blank, but I'm looking at it right now. Hold on. It's Procreate. Procreate is coming out with a version 3 of their app, which has a lot of great features. And I personally want to give the developer money. They have said that it will be available to everyone who's purchased for free, sort of thing. And I said, I talked to them on Facebook and said, for someone who's inclined to do so, how can they give you money? Right, because this is obviously a lot of time and effort and energy put into creating this update. I'm willing to pay for that. The Apple Store doesn't provide a way to do that unless you do in-app purchases, and they just said, hey, if you'll just share our app with your friends and talk, write a review and do these sort of simple things, then we'll appreciate it, right? That'll help us, but I think, yeah, why not? Why shouldn't developers go ahead and just put a button on their site and say, hey, if you appreciate it, drop me a few bones.
Yeah.
It can't hurt, right? And then obviously in your case, it didn't hurt at all.
No. If you don't ask, you don't get.
I tell you, here's what I hear. I hear you said, you're talking about, and I'm going to call it being generous. You like you said before, could have charged a lot more. And the people who you have, these 12,000 people or so on your list, they probably would have bought, right? You probably could have done that. But what I hear is that there's a sort of an abundance mentality there, right? That these 12,000 people are going to be, they're going to advertise your thing, right? And they're a much smaller percentage of an overall market, right? Some people would say, oh, I want to make as many sales as I can. But that's almost contradictory, right? Or whatever you want to call that. It's. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Well, they were a good seed, to launch it, like a good platform to launch it off of. For example, in 12 hours, I got 100,000 downloads. I didn't even touch the free charts. Didn't get anywhere near any traction going up there. As soon as I made it paid, within a few hours, I was climbing up the paid charts worldwide and eventually hit #1 in 30 countries, and it stayed there for a good few days.
So the being free in the beginning is almost like a reward to the people who participated early.
Yeah, that's how I framed it. As somebody showed interest early, I'd like to give away for free, and you don't have to, but if you want to, you can help me out by doing these 4 things.
Were there any other things that you did like that were kind of like a marketing piece that helped? Or you feel like is a good thing to do?
A little marketing piece. I use the iTunes affiliate links. So for every click-through or everyone who shared that link, for etc., if they bought anything on iTunes, that would get 7% of the value of whatever they're paid for. So I'd recommend doing that. I'd recommend doing that to every developer who has a website and has it up on there. That's also in the app. If you share it with the app, as the little affiliate link on as well.
So I have one question for you. I noticed that you said in your interview with what was it, Rampant Ramblings? You said that you went from like 100 visitors a day or whatever to your site to 50,000 visitors, right? Something like that. Somewhere along the way, a huge spike in traffic. So I think heard you mention Squarespace. Did you use Squarespace?
Yes, I'm
Is that
so
true?
happy I do, because if I use Squarespace. If I self-hosted, I'd probably go on like a very cheap plan for my usage, and then as soon as I get a big spike, it will just fail over. So Squarespace or any other large CMS like that will scale traffic, hopefully scale your site with the traffic.
Well, see,
So luckily I had good performance in all the
here's
uptime.
here's one of the things I keep hearing about Squarespace is that it's able to handle traffic spikes like that, and I haven't known anybody firsthand who could corroborate that, who could confirm that. But so you're saying it's true though.
A good test is to get linked
sounds
to
like
by John Gruber on Daring Fireball, and my site was linked to by him, and I had a lot of traffic, and it didn't have any problems.
Didn't even hiccup. Okay, good to know. So there you go. So if you're an app developer looking to get or any website owner looking for a platform that won't tank when you get the celebrity that you are looking for, maybe Squarespace, right? That's another marketing tip.
You can also use Google App Engine. It also scales up with.
But that's a little more geeky, though, right? Isn't that a little more techy?
A little bit, yeah. But you can install Drupal on it, and it will be nicely working as a normal CMC.
Because Drupal's not geeky at all.
Hey, I want to answer a question, but Dean, you may not want to answer this question, so I'm gonna try to ask it in a way that you're comfortable with answering.
Okay.
Okay. So my question is now you've been on the top of the charts for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna ask you how much money you made on this, but I will ask you: are you worried about having to do any work next year?
I've actually quit my job to work full-time on this now. So I've made enough money to support me for the foreseeable future.
That look that you see on Ed's face is one of complete envy and disdain.
No, not disdain. No disdain whatsoever. Envy, maybe. Yeah, well, congratulations, though. That's.
Thank you.
If I thought about it, I would have highlighted your screen and then took a screenshot of it.
Well, this is what I figured. But no, I asked this question in all seriousness because, we don't. It's hard to get a sense of how much money people make, and nobody ever tells you how much money they make. And I'm not asking that number. However, what does it mean? You're on the top of the charts for 10 days. Is that it's a good thing clearly, but like, how good is it? So how long have you this
I
product?
can tell you.
Like weeks now,
I can tell you. Can I interrupt for a little moment? That there is a common study that shows that top games can earn from 1,000 to about 10,000 a day at the top charts.
That would be a decent. That would be a decent income. I think it's that user base, right? Getting that user base.
Yeah, and there's another study that tells that on average, good application, good game, earns first $1 million in half a year, in 6 months.
If you had any article links, that'd be nice if you could share them later, like on Slack.
They're in Russian.
Okay. Hey guys, I just realized I gotta go. I'm not pulling this one out. This is the airport thing again, but it's true, okay? Except I got to go to the train station this time.
Okay.
So Dean, it was great having you on and getting to listen. And by all means, continue without me, you guys. But my wife will kill me if I don't go pick her up. And one more thing I wanted to say: I did have the editor done for today, and we're not going to cover it, obviously. So what I think I'll do is I'll make a very short video later and just post it so that people can see how to use it. And then we can talk about it next week or whatever. But I don't want to interrupt it anymore. I will talk to you guys later, and congratulations again, Dean.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ed.
See you later, Ed.
All right. See you guys.
Cheers.
All right. Well, yeah, and I think we've kind of reached the end of it. I don't want to take up Dean's time too much. It's I know it's late there where you are and all that. So are there any last minute things that you want to say before we wrap things up?
Yes. Certainly. 4 years ago, I never programmed before. and I started with Corona SDK. Stayed with it for about 18 months, and now here I am. You know, I've never had any like proper training how to program, or everything I've learned a lot through the Corona forums, through this show, the early episodes, and just asking people. So I'd say for anyone out there who's learning or struggling to learn, just keep at it, because it's very possible to go from the very bottom to the very top, even if only for a few days.
Oh, excellent. Well, yeah, I love it. I love it. When I saw your name on Crystal, and I saw what was happening there, I was like, you'd think that you were my child. I was just like so proud of you, man. I was like, yay, go Dean. So yeah, so that's cool. Absolutely. Well, congratulations. Yeah, I really appreciate you being on with us and sharing all the information and stuff. I know there's a lot of controversy and stuff that's going on. I think that the industry as a whole is just going through a lot of changes, and I think everybody will come out better on the other side, and that's all really anybody wants, right? So
definitely.
So all right. Well, thanks for being with us. We'll be here next week to talk about the editor that Ed was talking about. But in the meantime, you need to go over to crystalapp.co, or you can go to the iTunes store and you can find Crystal there. Just by what do they need to search for? Content blocker, ad blocker?
I think just Crystal. Crystal should bring it up. I think it's like that. It's App Store SEO magic, and it's top result. I think it is in the UK at least.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and go try it on. I know that I have it installed on my device, and I don't even think twice about it. It's just there, and now every site that I visit is much faster, and I enjoy the experience. And I actually have a desktop blocker that I block desktop ads as well. And I mean, it's a personal choice, but I am one of those people who, like I said before, will pay developers directly. We'll send them money and say, hey, this thing is valuable to me. So it's not really about trying to take money out of somebody's mouth. It's more about the experience on the other end. So go check out Crystal, check it out, and see if it's something that you like and can work with. And if it is, share it with your friends. Tell them about it as well. And just know that the man that you see before you there, Dean, is he's working hard to make everybody's life a little better.
I like to think
so. All right. You like to think so. All right, Dean, hold on after the show. We want to talk to you a little bit more, but thank you everyone for joining us today. We'll be back here next Monday at 12 p.m. Pacific to talk all about mobile app development using Corona SDK. Until then, have a great week and happy coding.